What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another post-match fan show as Spurs won 3-0 away at Preston to have safe passage into the 5th round of the FA Cup, which surprisingly we haven't been further than the 5th round the last 4 years. So hopefully this is a change this year. But before we get any of you guys on, it is your chance to have your say. Link is in the community section right now. We have got some big news to bring you. Everyone was asking during the watch long yesterday, what's happening with Porro? Is he coming? Is he staying? Has it broken down? He was called in the lineup for the cup final tonight, which they are losing 1-0 as it stands. But we have finally got those 3 beautiful words from Fabrizio Romano. Tottenham reached full verbal agreement with Sporting to sign Pedro Porro. Here we go! It will be sealed in the next 24 hours if all goes to plan. Pedro Porro will say goodbye tonight and then sign with Spurs until 2028. And then he went on to say more on the Pedro Porro deal. Tottenham have never considered this at risk or close to collapsing. Porro was the priority target since the beginning of January. Spurs plan now. Goodbye to Sporting fans tonight. Travel and medical tests in the next 24 hours, and then the contracts will be signed. So everyone can breathe now. Pedro Porro, we do have those 3 words, here we go, but Everton had those 3 here we go with Danjuma as well. So is there still potential of a hijack? I don't think so, because Chelsea also got the here we go for their right back yesterday. So I think we can safely say that this is safe now, and Tottenham have got their man in Pedro Porro. And I'm just starting to think about it now, the right-hand side of Spurs, Pedro Porro on the right, Romero next to him, right centre-back, Bentancur in the midfield, Kulusevski on the right wing. That is shaping up to be some sort of right-hand side, isn't it?
It is. I must admit, I am going to miss the Daily Porro on Tottenham updates.
The last Daily Porro, by the way.
I really want to join those. Like I said, I don't think it's going to fall through unless he gets injured tonight. We need to get him off that pitch as soon as goddamn possible, and get him on that flight. But someone that was the #1 target. Yes, it's taken a hell of a long time. Yes, it's time wasted in my opinion, but we've got him. So that position that we have thought we needed sorted, or we know we have needed sorted since Carl Walker, this time, at the 5th time of asking, looks like we might just have got it.
Yeah, it's taken us about 5 years to replace Carl Walker.
5 years and 5 players.
But Barry, Emerson, maybe coming out the team, we're getting a better right back in. What are you feeling?
Well, it looks like we're getting top 4 and I'm getting an Emerson haircut. So that's all that matters. Come on. No, look, we know Emerson isn't. Although I've been singing his praises and banging on that drum for Emerson Royale. Look, Porro is definitely an upgrade, and that's what we need, right? We need to upgrade in these positions, and we've still got more to go. Look, and if we can nail a centre back as well before the window shuts, it's definitely going to be better than the summer's transfer window. And we were saying the summer transfer, or some people were saying the summer transfer window was 7, 8. Or even higher out of 10. So
I don't remember the last time we've gone into a window and actually got our top target in a window. Can you remember the last time we've done that? Because I literally can't. And I think it's it's taken a while to get done. We're here on the 28th of January, and with how many million meetings have happened, and they've been speaking to each other a lot of toing and froing between Sporting and Spurs. But we have finally got our man, and I think he's going to be unbelievable. I'm so excited about this one. How excited are you guys?
Just give me another packet of wine, guys. Look, it's perfect, right? Because we've seen today with Sonny and the way that he's come back into form. Hopefully, it can go on more than one game. But look, it's really exciting. We've got a week or so, hopefully, to bed him in, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts against Man City next Sunday.
Yeah, do you reckon straight in there?
I think he will. I think he will.
I've got a feeling he's still going to go with Emerson on against Man City just because of that defensive solidity.
I've just got a feeling they're going to just literally, as well, they know that there might be a few rumblings from us. I think yes, go straight in. Yes, go straight in. We've seen, even today with Doherty, we've seen down that right-hand side, we were so slow. The creativity he can bring and his crossing and everything being his key asset. If we've got Kane rested, rejuvenated, going for that, I think you put him straight in.
And are we starting to see, I know everything's up in the air with Antonio Conte and what's going to happen next season and stuff, But let's say, for argument's sake, Antonio Conte is staying, right? Are we starting to see the side a bit shape up in his image a little bit, with that right-hand side looking like it's pretty solid? We just need to get that left-hand side the same quality as that right-hand side, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I mean, Destiny Aduje is going to come in and hopefully be that. He's looking very, very impressive. As Nick was saying just before we started, goalkeeper, centre-back, creative midfielder, and then you may be talking about something, but they've got to be of Conte's type player to do so, and let's hope it happens.
All right, so there you have it. Pedro Porro to Spurs. Here we go. We have got our man, and let's hope it's not the last signing in this January transfer window, because we still need defensive reinforcements. But as it goes right now, if the window was to shut tomorrow, and these were only two signings, Danjuma and Porro, what are we rating the window?
Oh,
Bear in mind, we filled a position that we've been trying to fill for 5 years.
yeah, for me, 4.
4.
4.
Why 4?
Because I wanted 2 centre-backs. Listen, Porro was the number 1 target, but that centre-back and left-back, left centre-back, is, no matter what combination we try, no matter what, we can't find the right solution. And that was a necessity to me. And we've not addressed those. Not saying that it couldn't change between now and then, but it would be a 4 from me right now.
And if we brought in one centre-back to a good quality?
Give me an example.
Indika.
6.
6. Barry?
I can't remember what I gave the summer window. So, I mean, it's got to be, 7. And then if we get, we get a centre back in, it's got to be pushing up to an 8 or even a 9, depending on who it is.
I would say this window 6.5. I would say. I mean, you're looking at a position which we've been desperately trying to fill for 5 years and done it to a very high quality. I don't think we could have signed anyone probably better than Pedro Porro on the market. And you're talking about Danjuma, a player who's going to come in and probably replace Lucas Moura for 6 months, which is a very low risk signing. And if he works out, I think we've got the option to sign him. So I think it's a very low risk and quite a clever signing in Danjuma. And I like the look of him today. But look, the jury's definitely still out on Danjuma. So I think if we bring in a high quality centre back like an Indika or like a, dare I say it, Skriniar, I would give it probably an 8.
Oh, if we get a Skriniar, I change mine. I've wanted him for 3 years. I think he's brilliant. That becomes an 8. Easy. He is the one I really, really want. And at 20 million, we have to try and pull out all the stops. Right? If we lose out to PSG, you can't compete with them. But make it a fight and say, right, here we go. The Conte link, everything's there. Get this over the line, and we're talking a different ball game.
All right, there you have it. Second transfer of the January transfer window, signed, sealed and delivered on the 28th of January. Let's see what else comes our way from now until the end of the window. Obviously, we'll bring you the news as and when anything.
Skriniar's just signed for PSG.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, just had the here we go from Romano.
What, for now or for the summer?
Has already signed as a Paris deal done for June 2023 on a free transfer. Here we go.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's what it was expected. Let's be honest. I mean,
Well,
I literally said that to you off air a second ago, didn't I? That him to PSG is a done deal. But look, either way, it's still a 6 out of 10. And if we bring in like an Evan Ndika, I'd still put it as a 7.5, 8 out of 10. But anyway, we do have our second signing through the door, Pedro Porro, our number 1 target, and finally our right. Hopefully, we can put our right wing back problems behind us now, and that is the breaking news today. So let's bring on some guests and let's see what they have to think. And the first person we're bringing on is Mikey. How you doing, Mikey?
Hey guys.
You all right?
Yeah, decent. I know my girlfriend will be happy hearing the Skriniar to PSG deal confirmed. I was having a little talk with her about who needs him more. She agrees that Tottenham needs him more, but she'll be happy that PSG have got him nonetheless. I'm not, but we move.
Absolutely top quality signing for PSG there. But what are you more happy with today? The going through into the next round or signing Pedro Porro?
They put me on the spot. Probably both equally in numbers. It's like a 50-50. I think it's welcoming news that we've signed Pedro Porro. It was a it wasn't so much a guarantee because a lot of reports this morning were that the deal might fall through because Spurs were getting aggravated by Sporting. But it looks like, I think, most reliable sources thought it would just be a case of as soon as the cup final gets underway or it finishes, he'll be pretty much guaranteed, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours to Tottenham Hotspur. So I'm happy that he's finally come, and top it all off, Sonny with one brilliant goal and one predatory goal, and then Danjuma getting on the score sheet as well. It's been a pretty decent day to be a Spurs fan, I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely. And thoughts on the performance today?
Our second half FC strikes again, as I say every time I seem to come on here. Second half FC strikes again. I think it was a well-rounded performance given the level of opposition. I'm glad we didn't have to bring Harry Kane on. I'm glad he got his rest. He got a couple weeks rest, and a couple of times we've seen Son score the hat trick off the bench, or he scored against Palace. He still didn't look 100% fit, but today something looked different. I know it was against Preston, but it wasn't necessarily about the opposition. His touch looked better.
Different vibe about him today, wasn't there?
Yeah, his touch looked more concrete. He looked fast again. He didn't look so laborious, so tired. I don't know where that might have come from. Just maybe starting as a striker instead of starting out on the left. Maybe that's helped him a bit, being that not focal point, but he was doing a lot of the Kane role, dropping deep, linking up play, and being the one to instigate stuff. And he was by far the best player on the pitch for either team today. And I think, not for either team, within either team. And I was just very, very happy with the way he performed. Danjuma goal as well. And I guess it just shows that with the right fluidity, our attack can still cause a lot of problems. I know it was against Preston. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but there was just a difference about Son today. It was more zippy. It was more controlled. He was more on point with everything. His passing, his touch, he looked like the Son of old, shall we say, dare I say. And my comments about selling him in the summer now look very stupid.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to say, Mikey, what did you think of Tanganga playing at right centre back?
I think if there was a clear order of who was good, Longley was the best defender. Tanganga for me came out second, and Sanchez was a far, far below third. I think Tanganga had to cover for a lot of Sanchez's mess today. And I think he did. I mean, again, it wasn't a high caliber opposition. And I remember his performance against Brentford wasn't anything to shout to write home about. So I think Tanganga did well against the level of opposition that he played, but I can't really take too many indications from his performance based on that specific game.
There's been a lot of question marks, Mikey, about Bissouma. Do you think he stepped up to the plate today?
I wasn't really. I didn't really see. But I think the game kind of passed him by. Again, this may be me. I did watch the full game, but I didn't really see Bissouma do much. I don't know. Maybe I've missed something. I didn't watch Bissouma too closely today, so I can't really say anything. But I think I put in the comments of one of your videos a couple months ago that I was getting very impatient with Bissouma, and I got slandered saying, just give him time. Well, I've given him time, and I'm still not fully. He doesn't look like the player he was at Brighton, but there was a comment made about Caicedo that if you take the player out of Brighton, you risk losing the output, and I guess Brighton is built to get the max out of every player. So, I'm not saying Bissouma's a bad player. I just didn't really see a lot from him today. I thought Bentancur was probably the superior of the two midfielders, although he did have a few sloppy missed passes. So his turn was pretty nice as well, that little pirouette that he did.
Yeah, but he lost the ball straight afterwards, so didn't
he?
He
passed it
so there's no point
man.
doing the turn if you're going to lose it straight away.
In the words of Alan Shearer, he said you can do the turn, but then not do the simple stuff. It says a lot about Tottenham. You can do the difficult stuff and then fail the easy stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of been the vibe this season. But I didn't really see too much wrong with Bissouma's performance. I didn't see too much right with it either. So,
can you tell me if you saw anything right with Ryan Sessegnon's performance today?
I saw everything left because he played on the left. No, I think it was terrible today. His crossing was awful. His touch was awful. His passing was non-existent. Perisic went into left wing back with Danjuma on the left, and that was already easily a far superior combination to anything Sess offered. So I don't know. I think he was probably from a Tottenham point of view, one of the two worst players on the pitch alongside Davinson Sanchez. But you know, that was.
Did you not see that classy Davinson Sanchez skill to put it over his head and win the ball off that attacker?
Don't forget the second half thing where he fell over and then got up to fall over. He did, that was
Actually,
brilliant.
I did see a very nice piece of skill from Ollie Skip where he just kind of tapped it over the player and drove up the pitch. I was very impressed with his little cameo off the bench.
Yeah,
today.
he looked good, didn't he, Mikey?
He did look good. I was very happy with his performance. But again, I think with these kind of big results, when you've been going for a patchy run of form and you get a win against a lower league opposition, you have to understand that it is still a lower league opposition and we still have to play Manchester City this time next week.
Yeah.
So
Don't worry about Manchester City, Mikey. We're going all the way. Top 4, Champions League, FA Cup. Come on, Mikey.
Well,
Get on the train.
I'll tell you what, Mikey, the last time we signed the Dutch winger was Steven Bergwijn. His debut was against Manchester City, and we saw what happened that day. What did you make out of our new Dutch signing today?
I was very happy with him. He looked very direct. He looked exactly like what we may have perhaps been missing off the bench. You know, Richarlison isn't really that direct pace. You know, that would probably be what Lucas Moura was. Obviously, he's been injured. You know, Richarlison is not that profile of player. Brian Hill's more of a technical ball into feet and run with the ball kind of player. So to have Danjuma constantly playing on the, you know, I saw him about 5 times right in line with the defense on that last defender, always ready to pounce in behind. I think we've sorely been missing that, and his and Kulusevski's cross into him was you know hopefully the start of a nice link up when perhaps the main men Kane and Son aren't, you know, when they perhaps need a rest. We've finally got enough options. I think a lot of people thought we were stacked in attack because we had 2 front threes. You know, we had Richarlison, Hill and Moura, obviously alongside Kane, Son and Kulu. But, you know, we've had 4 or 5 separate injuries to attackers. Only Harry Kane has been the consistent non-injured one this season. So a lot of what's the word? A lot of people don't really realize that we needed that, and now that we have it, it's like, well, we may have needed this all along. So I'm very happy with Danjuma's performance. I hope he starts like our other Dutch winger. I hope he doesn't end like it. But
yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, still,
one more question, Mikey, before I let you go. 3-4 days left of the transfer window. 2 in. We've got 2 in so far. How many are we going to have in by the end of the window, by the time that shuts?
So I think we might sign someone else by about February the 15th. I think I'm confident that, you know, like I think it was I can't remember who said it. It was like Tottenham are always constantly looking and ready to make those, like, you know, like the Danjuma deal. You know, it's looking like Porro and, you know, we might see a suit for Zaniolo. You know, that news has kind of gone a little bit quiet, but Fabrizio said that Zaniolo's waiting for Tottenham or AC Milan, and it looks like AC Milan aren't willing to budge on their offer, and Roma want more. And obviously, Mourinho came out and said that it looks like he's going to stay, but you never know if Tottenham come in with an offer that, you know, with an offer of 5 million plus 20 in add-ons, we'll hopefully see him climb up by February the 15th, and maybe we'll have him signed, but. I don't know. If I'm being realistic, I think one more signing I'd expect, but I also would expect there to be no more signings as well. Like maximum 1. I don't see us going out and getting 2-3 people on deadline day.
So you'd be happy if the window shuts tomorrow and these are only 2 signings?
No, I wouldn't be happy. I just don't expect us to go and get. You know, I still think, and you know, I speak for the masses here when I say this. Our centre backs need improving. You know, that is a glaring issue. Obviously, right wing back has been a problem position for God knows how long. It's starting to look like left wing back might be a problem as well. But we've got Udogie coming in, so I'm not too worried about that unless he starts really poorly. But centre back is a glaring weakness. And if Conte does end up staying, then Bastoni, if you're there, please.
Well, you heard it here, Bastoni. If you're watching, Mikey wants you in. So, Mikey, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for coming on today, Mikey. We'll see you soon.
Thank you everyone for. You're not ending yet, I hope. But,
not yet.
I'll see you guys later.
See you later, Mikey.
Big up, Mikey. Let's get on our next guest. It's Ryan, people. Oh, he's got his fingers ready already, Ryan.
He's had a haircut as well.
He's looking fresh, Ryan. How you doing, bro? Oh,
Ryan's on mute and you cannot hear him.
He's on mute.
You are on mute.
My lord,
hello.
he's
Can
on
you hear me
mute.
now?
Hey!
Now we can hear you.
Oh, we still can't hear you.
What's up, Ryan?
He didn't
Be
take the
quiet,
bait.
you hear me.
No, you're right, brother.
I'm all good. Haircut, trim, fresh shave. Only when Spurs win. Felt like that long since we've won
You
a game.
quickly went for a nice little wet shave after the game.
It was already done after Fulham.
Fair enough. What'd you make out of the performance today?
Performance was very, very good. Son backfiring, which is, I think, a pleasure to see for all Spurs fans. Nothing really for the defence to deal with, apart from Sanchez having a few shaky errors. But other than that, very, very comfortable evening.
I wouldn't let you talk about our captain like that. Come on.
Clean sheet, Ryan. What are you saying,
2
man?
clean sheets in a row.
2 clean sheets in a row. Come on, man.
Long
Davinson
time.
Sanchez, he's the future, mate.
Definitely. Future captain, future leader.
Talk to me about Japhet Tanganga today. I know he didn't have much to do defensively, but I thought he did really well getting up the pitch and knitting the play together. What was your opinion on Tanganga today?
Yeah, up the pitch. Not sure if it was him or Royale that made the run right at the end of the game.
I think it was Emerson, Ryan.
That means it was Tanganga.
No, it was Emerson, man.
Yeah,
It was
it was
Tanganga.
It was Tanganga. Tanganga
Whatever.
played very well today. I think when we all saw the team sheet, that defence was the big worry. We thought if we would go a goal down, we might crumble, but we didn't. We got the first goal, the first all-important goal, and we went on from there, which was good to see. We didn't sit on our laurels. We went and got the second and got the third and put the tie to bed, which was very good to see. Very happy. I can't really complain tonight, put it that way, which is
Right,
good.
I was going to. Do you think that we were speaking about it before? I think that is Tanganga's best position. Obviously, he's not going to replace Romero, but I think we need to just focus on him constantly playing there now, not just dropping him in wherever we need. Do you reckon that's his best position?
Yeah, I always thought centre back was his best position. In a back three, yeah, it'd probably be on the right because he can play right back at times and he can play centre back. So I always look at it. If you look at Conte's past, actually, he's always had either on the left or the right side of the three. He's always had like that fullback that's played in that position. You look at Chelsea with Aspilicueta. Here, Ben Davis, who was a left back, he's made into a very good left centre back. So it's something that works very well for him. So yeah, that will be his best position. I don't see him going anywhere, leaving Tottenham because of the homegrown quota. That's one of our issues at the moment. Not bringing enough youth through. So yeah, I can see Tanganga being the understudy to Romero.
Really?
Sanchez.
That's high praise because no one was giving him a look in, were they, a couple of weeks ago, Tanganga? But it was a really assured display in there. And I thought out of the back three today, he did look like the most comfortable one. But I thought Longley as well was doing a good job getting in those half spaces outside the box and putting crosses in. But the real frustration tonight was Ryan Sessegnon, wasn't it, Ryan?
My name's sake, letting my name down. Worst player on the pitch, and it's sad to say, he was just. I know you lot have been sticking up for him for as long as possible. I was on the Reguilon bandwagon that I wanted him to stay and Cesc to go in the summer because I thought Reguilon offered more going forward. He's a better wing back. Generally, defensively, he does the work. And he's always reliable with his delivery. Might not have the end product in terms of finishing, which we saw at the back end of last season. He missed a few chances, but we know he can cross a ball, Reguilon. So, yeah, personally, I think Cesc, we've got to just try and move him on. We need to just take the hit like other clubs do when they make a mistake on a signing. They just get rid of him. Just take any amount of money and just move and run and just try and strengthen that next area, which we already have. Adoji's coming in the summer, so hopefully Adoji and Porro flying down the wings. Conte's new 4-year deal being signed once we lift the Champions League.
Yes, Ryan.
Dreams can come true. Ryan, talk to me a bit
look,
about.
I'm all excited for that Champions League final that's coming.
You excited? Talk to me about Pedro Porro then. Obviously, we got the here we go just now from Fabrizio Romano. Have we finally locked down, after Kyle Walker, 5 long years of that right wing back, in that absolute mud, that right wing back position?
I got the here we go from Ryan. I didn't get it from Fabrizio, didn't I, Ryan?
Have
have
we finally sorted out that position, Ryan?
Right wing back, we've never had the issue with because Kyle Walker played right back. He never played right wing back. So
okay, but you know what I mean.
Oh, come on, Ryan. You cop out, man. You flip flop.
Yes, look. If here's we finally stumbled upon the right back that we've needed, we shall see, because we know how it can take time for players to settle, even when they've come from the Premier League clubs to a new club. Getting used to the system, getting used to the tactics, getting used to the training regime. It does take time. Bassuma's a prime example. So we'll have to see how it works. It may work, it may not. It's one of them things. But if it doesn't work, all I urge is get him out the club quick. Don't haggle and wait. Will it work? It might work. If it doesn't work after 18 months, 2 years, is not the solution. Out you go, bring another one in until you come across the right one. That's how big clubs act. That's how we want Spurs to act.
Does he come straight in against Man City for you?
Yes, straight in.
All right.
Has to start.
What number is he going to get?
What number? That's a good shout. It can't be 2, can't be 12. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
We'll have to wait and see.
I've got a feeling he might be 2 next year after Doherty's out the door in the summer.
Yeah, I've got a feeling.
Doherty's homegrown.
No, we said when he goes
enough.
next season, yes. Once he's gone and vacated that shirt, I think Porro will take it.
Yeah, well, anyway, Ryan.
Maybe Reguilon will take it.
Reguilon. Thanks for coming on today, Ryan. We'll speak to you next time.
Ryan, I'll see you in about 2 hours, if that.
Yeah. See you, Daigle.
All right,
See you
brother.
later.
See you later, Ryan.
Come on.
He can come and he can get 24 because 24's. Oh no, Jed Spencer's 24. So
Well,
he
he could have 24 because it's whether he's going out permanently or on loan.
We'll have to wait and see. But let's get our next guest on, and it's Asymmatic.
Here he is, Asymmatic. How you doing, man?
Yes, come
boys.
on.
Hey, I'm gassed. Yes.
Are you gassed more about Porro or more about the FA Cup? Tell me. Talk to me.
Porro. We did it. Hey, I was so nervous like the whole week. Like I'm thinking, it's typical Spurs, man. Last minute, we're not gonna get him in. But I should have known better, man. You know how we like to draw out transfers and leave it to the last minute, just in case we don't sign anyone. We can be like, look, deadline day transfer. Here you go. So yeah, and I'm happy that we got it over the line, boys. I'm happy.
You know what they say, Asymmatic? 28th day works a charm. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
That's what's
Literally.
happened.
They don't say that, Brian. What are you talking about?
They do say it.
I know what you mean.
28th day is a charm.
28th day
I'll
works
tell
a charm.
you what is a charm. Watching Asymmatic's videos on Instagram, that's a charm. Can you stop putting us all to shame, mate? Jesus Christ, man. You're ripped. You're ripped, bruv.
Asymmatic, talk to me about the right-hand side moving forward now, this second half of the season. Romero, right centre-back. Porro, right wing-back. Bentancur, right midfielder. Kulusevski on the right wing.
It's a diamond.
That's a strong right side, isn't it?
It's a dime a dozen. See the little triangles we're going to create on that right-hand side? Mwah. Oh, my days. They're going to be interchanging. Him and Kulu. Oh, my days. Bentancur as well. Wrapping in, Romero surging forward, doing key passes.
And then you got Emerson Royale to come in as backup, Asymmatic, no?
Yeah. Royale's the ball boy. Yeah. No, but all jokes aside, I even see him adding creativity to our game. I see him coming inside. Like for the little glimpse I've seen of this game against Porto, sometimes he looks like a second striker. The way he just pushes forward, like it's crazy. And to have that, the quality of balls coming in and the qualities of shots coming in, it's going to improve Spurs so much more, man. And even the genuine pace and speed of thought just everything, just technically, mwah, like I'm just happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's so nice though. Like on this fan show, even when we win, sometimes there's that air of negativity. Like, when are we gonna get Porro in? When are we gonna get the signings in? I'm sensing a lot of calm Spurs fans today, which I'm loving. I'm absolutely loving. But let's talk about the game. Obviously, a 3-0 win at Deepdale today. What did you make out of the game?
I thought basically the first half we struggled because of our wing backs. I thought the wing backs were too tucked in, too narrow, and because they played a back five, it made it easy to throw a blanket over them. It was easy to defend because we had no width, and because we had no width, the front three had no space to run into. I think as soon as as soon as we went wide, and I think what happened, I saw Kulu go out wide for the first time in the second half. As soon as he goes wide, it kind of pulls their fullback, their centre back across, and then all of a sudden, there's small little pockets of holes open up. And I saw that when Tanganga was on the ball, and he did a pass forward because he sees a run from Perry. Perry makes a run across in between the centre half and the fullback. And when the ball goes into Perry, Perry does that nice little backheel flip. And then guess who's there? Son. Perry on's there to finish it off, man. And I like the way Son took his first touch and then he span and he had the agility. He was so agile and got onto his left foot and he finished it off in true Son style. But even the first goal, when the ball came into Son and he got the ball and he picked it up and he just whipped it across the face of the goal. That was the old school Son that we've been missing. A confident Son. I felt like he was almost like a 10/9. He kind of had that space to run into. Like when Son's running onto balls, you forget how good he is at shooting with his right foot and the left foot. And in that first half, he warned them a couple of times. He said, look, give me space and I'll punish you. And in the second half, he came along and he did exactly that. So I just feel like when those wing backs, or even when the centre forwards, the wide centre forwards, pull wide, it just opens up so many pockets and so much space. And I just felt like with Sessegnon was too narrow, and that's why he wasn't able to have a good 1v1 in the first half and the second half as well. To be fair, he wasn't really beating his man. That cross wasn't getting to the wasn't beating the first man either. And even on set pieces as well, actually, when it came to Son and Perry, we were terrible at set pieces. And normally in games, well, this season, should I say, we've been good on set pieces. That's what's kind of got us over the line. But we were very poor on our set pieces today. But I thought overall, I wanted to see Basuma next to Bentancur, because normally Basuma would have like a poor game. And I thought he didn't have any mistakes in his game today. He was quite close to play, so he did a lot of short passes, which meant that he was able to make the ball tick over a lot quicker. So a lot of people might not have noticed him at all, but it's because he kept it very simple and did the simple stuff very well. So he was able to make the ball move a bit faster. Because in the first half, I felt we were a bit slow and the runs off the ball wasn't there. So when the front three aren't running off the ball, then like when you're in possession, like as a midfielder or even as a centre back and you're pushing forward to help the attack, if no one's making that run, you're looking left, right, you're like, wow, there's no one to pass to. I'm just going to pass it sideways. Do you understand? So someone has to run across, even if it's century, just a small pocket of movement. And yeah, that's what we didn't do in the first half. That's why it was a bit slow and they were able to nullify us.
Ash, back on Sonny today. Obviously, he was the best player on the park. 2 brilliant goals, and we saw really flashes of the Son of old. Are you confident that he's going to get back to his best after this, or do you think that just because it was against Preston, we need to bide our time with it?
I was saying to you before, like I feel like in the formation that he plays in, he has a lot of defensive responsibilities, and sometimes that can take away from his attacking threat. Again, he was a bit deep. Again, like I don't like to see him so deep, but today he looked a lot more confident with his first touch, getting the ball at his feet and literally running with it, running into space, getting into spaces, and he was confident enough to shoot from outside the box, which we haven't seen enough of in this first half, the first period of the first few games. So I think that mask never helped either. Like when he got that injury, I know he wasn't banging before, but I just feel that when you're wearing a mask and your vision's kind of like tunneled, you could tell like when things weren't going right for him, he would take the mask off in frustration and throw it to the side. So I think him not wearing a mask has helped free him up. I think he needed a game like this just to boost his confidence, because even after the game, he actually said, you know, you could be playing well, you could be playing bad, but a goal, every striker needs goals. That's what he said after the game. So I just think that those 2 goals would have done him the world of confidence. Even though when he did come off he got substituted off, he did come off, look, he was grimacing a little bit. He looked like a bit uncomfortable.
He did,
so,
He did.
I
Looks
think,
like
you know,
Asymmatic looks like Porro's going to be on the losing side because Polino's just been sent off for Sporting.
Yeah, just get Porro off, get him on the next flight. Come on.
Yeah. Wrap him up in cotton wool, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about Perisic because we saw him in a bit of a different role today, a bit further up, well, a lot further up the pitch. Still, I didn't think he put in a great performance today. Follows a run of a few bad displays from Perisic. What do you want to see more from him at the moment?
Like I said, I think on the right-hand side is fine. I feel like Kulu and whoever Kulu links up with, he knows like the distances. Whereas when Perisic is on the left-hand side, like he plays a little bit too close to Son. So there's not that kind of, you kind of want like a mini triangle or a mini diamond. And I feel like sometimes Perry's a bit too inside for me. He's not wide enough. And even when he's wide, sometimes he's not taking his man on and he's not being assertive. He's not, I don't know if I don't think he's lacked a yard of pace, but he's just positionally. He doesn't know when to come inside and when to go on the outside. And I feel like when you're too close to Son, that's kind of stifling the kind of outball, the passing lanes, if that makes sense. So you need your players to kind of be able to run off each other. And that's not happening. You can't see no 1-2s between him and Son. There's no chemistry whatsoever. And then the basics of 1v1, we're not seeing that either. Or we're not even seeing a third man come into play so you can use one man as like to suck, you know, a fullback and a centre back across the pitch, open up space for someone else. We're not seeing anything on that left-hand side. It's looking a bit stifled. And I feel like they don't quite know what to do when they're in possession. And I just feel like when Son drops in that hole and he drops in deep into our half, I think Perry should just be on his bike. And then they should always be looking to find Perry. And I just don't think Perry's doing that enough. However, I think Dangerous Dan the man.
Look good, didn't he?
Dangerous Dan.
Deadly Dan, decisive Dan, came on, he just started demanding. He was like, his first touch, I always look at players' first touch, and his first touch, he's got under, he's done a 1-2, boom, boom. He's come out wide, he's come short for it. He's looked confident. When he didn't get the ball back from, I think it was Perry, he was mad, he was vexed. He's like, oh my days, why get to me? Man was rearing up. I said, bro, you know what? You need a player like that's going to tell man off and say, what are you doing, bro, to my feet? Because all of the men are all nice guys. And you just need someone that's a bit like brazen, that's a bit confident, a bit cocky, full of themselves, believes in themselves, and is quite good on the ball. You look quite, to me, look, it's Preston, so I'm not getting gassed, but I'm just saying, to me,
sounds like you're getting gassed.
It does sound like you're getting gassed, Asymmatic. It sounds like you're coming on my train, man.
Listen, Dan the man, listen, his footwork was just immaculate. And not only that, the goal that he scored, his movement was quite good as well, because he was in between the two centre halves. And what he did is he pulled away, so he pinned the two centre halves, he was in between them, he pinned them, and then he pulled away at the last minute when Kulu was whipping that ball back. And then obviously when he did hit it, it wasn't clean, but the fact that the movement in itself for me was enough to say, like, yeah, you could do the little force 9 thing. You can probably get us goals, because I honestly feel like everyone's calling for like an Ericsson, a number 10. But I think ever since we lost Dele Alli, I feel like we've missed that kind of box to box kind of.
Someone that can arrive late in a box, right?
Yeah, like an athletic kind of, like someone that's agility, someone that's got something a bit about them. I think we're missing that. Yeah, we are missing a playmaker, don't get me wrong, but I think when Spurs were at the best, we had 4 attacking players on the pitch, and Delhi would either assist or come up with a goal himself. And that's why we were so deadly. He'd assist Eriksen, he would just assist Kane, he would assist Son, and vice versa. You'd see like Toby Alderweireld just bring the ball into Dele Alli, make the run in, and he had the quality to finish it off. I'm not saying Danjuma's that guy. He's a bit different, but I just like the positions he took up in the false nine. I like the fact that he was on the right as well. And I know he's naturally left. He plays on the left. So I just like to see him mixing it up and then demanding and just looking sharp and hungry. And that's what I like when I see a man come off. And also strength as well. Because obviously we've got Brian Hill who came on and he looked quite explosive. But it's just that strength, that assurance, and then the demanding. That was a bit different from what you got from like your Brian Hill. Even though Brian Hill was productive and he was energetic and he had something too and he made it happen. He had a little bit of movement. But you just want players to come off the bench. And Conte wants that as well. Conte, I think why Conte was complaining so much is like he was looked to his bench and like he just saw tumbleweed. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to see someone like an option. You're like, raw, I can just bring my man on and just affect the game differently. Like, you know, when you're playing a team that sits behind, like, you know, we might play like a Forest or, I don't know, a team that's not as good as us. And they just sit back. We can bring one or two players on now to kind of...
Porro's down injured.
What?
Porro's down injured.
No.
He's literally down injured as we speak.
No, you're not doing
No.
this.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
no.
I told you this was going to happen.
You're lying to me.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's on the floor. Oh, shit.
Are you watching the game there? Are you watching the game?
Yeah, no, I've just seen the picture. I'm going to try and get it up. All right, I'll get off, man. I'll get off.
Get on Porro watch.
It's not so good. Hey, listen. We're talking about time. Oh.
Get on Porro watch, Asymmatic, man. We need some info. Come on.
Oh my days. Yeah, let me go watch the game. All right.
Asymmatic, big up to you. Thanks for having on the game, my brother.
Oh
It's got
my
to be a We Are Tottenham TV first.
Oh,
But
God.
guys left the stream because the player that's about to come in has got injured.
Oh, my God. We need Josh King in the WhatsApp group to give us an update.
Josh.
He's watching.
Come on, Josh.
He's watching.
United are 2-0 up, by the way. Andy Carroll's just been sent off.
He got sent off, did he?
Yeah.
When I saw the pitch,
3-0 now.
3-0 now.
2 goals from Casemiro, 1 from Fred.
Yeah.
And Man United have safe passage into the next round. Porro hasn't come off yet, so that's positive. But let's get on our next guest, and that is Ross. Just going to let you guys take this one.
yeah, go.
How you doing, Ross? You okay, man?
Yeah, doing good, doing great. I mean, why is it always us? Every time. We signed the guy, and then now we got to watch him get hurt. Hopefully he's okay. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, we have to too. So, yeah, thoughts on the game, Ross. How did you find it today?
It was good, tale of two halves once again. Second half, Tottenham reared its ugly head back up again, but overall a good game, a good cup win. I mean, that's a solid cup win, 3-0. Sonny's back. It looks like it, and that's always good. I never doubt him. I mean, people do, and I can understand. Nobody's above criticism, but I mean, form is temporary, class is permanent. That's what I believe, and he always comes good. And great to see the new guy, Danjuma, the Dutch Mamba.
The Dutch Mamba.
The Dutch Mamba get his debut goal. What is it with us? Something about Dutch guys when they come here like to score in their debuts.
It's true. Talking about another thing. I mean, we didn't talk about it with Asymmatic. What was your thoughts on Basuma today, Ross?
Again, kind of tale of two halves a little bit. He started out, I'm kind of going, what's he doing? He's just kind of walking around out there. But, as he said, he was kind of keeping it simple, keeping it together. But in the second half, he started to go forward more. He started to carry the ball forward. I'm going, that's what you got to do. We got to carry that ball forward because, they're clogging the middle of that defense. Every time they were trying to funnel us there, that brought those guys up a little bit, and it created space. So I thought he finished the game a lot better than he started it.
So he's still on the pitch.
Yeah.
He's still on the pitch,
Okay,
so he
Porro's
should be
still
all
on the
right.
pitch.
He should be all right
They
there.
actually made a change,
All
but it was
right.
Quatez, not Porro, to come off.
Okay, he's got to be okay then. Thank God. So sorry, you were saying, Ross.
No, yeah, just for Basuma, it was just kind of a tale of two halves. First half he seemed like he wasn't doing a lot. Second half he started carrying it forward, and open things up in the middle more. So I think he did pretty well.
Ross, what is it with us in second halves? Why out of, I'd say 95% of the games we just seem to just not show up for those first 45 minutes?
I don't know what it is. I mean, I wish I knew, but it just seems to be that way. We just kind of, take time to get into the game, and I don't know if we're just kind of trying, more cautious, or, if it's kind of a here we go again kind of thing. Certain things happen, but I do like that. They do respond in the second half a lot of times, and we do come out and secure the bag or come back. But yeah, I mean, it's you gotta do it for the whole 90. I mean, that's what it's about. That's what good teams do. Teams that are going to finish top 4, you have to do that. You can't just because you just have to expend so much energy getting back if you go down early that it's just and it just sometimes it's just not going to happen. It's just not possible.
There you go. So again, I keep talking about Tanganga today, like you were with Emerson. I'm being like with Tanganga today. So how did you feel about, of course, the 3 defenders, but Tanganga in particular, Ross?
I mean, he did okay. I mean, wasn't horrible. He wasn't great. I mean, it's kind of the performances we've been getting from him. It's too bad because I like the kid. He does have potential. He's really shown a lot. I remember his debut against Liverpool. He just pocketed Mane in that game. And but I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to happen for him here. It may be somewhere else. But I mean, I can't complain too much about his performance today. He didn't go into standby like Sanchez.
Do you think Ross, part of it is he needs game time? He needs that consistency rather than coming in one game here and 4 months later come into another game there. And it's not so much a confidence thing like it is with Cess, but he just needs to be playing week in, week out to get into a bit of form and to kind of show everyone really of what he's about.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of it too. And he's behind some guy like Romero, and guys like that are in long lay sometimes, and they're experienced Davis that are experienced defenders, so he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And unfortunately, when he does play, it's very sparingly, like you said, and he's not really going to be up to speed and be able to show that. So maybe alone, possibly, try that, send him on out somewhere where he's going to get consistent game time, and hopefully that'll get him turned around a bit.
Ross, have you spoken about Pedro Porro with Ross?
No.
Talk to me about Pedro Porro. Come on, everyone has to have their say on Pedro Porro. How happy are you? You finally got our man.
Oh, finally. I mean, we've been needing that like a fish needs water, man. Pedro Porro. Pedro Puro, as the Spanish say. Yeah, it's great to have that guy. I mean, that's what we need. Conte's, as I say repeatedly, Conte's system is based on wingbacks. It's all about the wingbacks. So go the wingbacks, so go the team. So the more quality we can get in there, because, we've got, Emerson, a right back playing right wingback, who's more of a defender. So the better quality we get there. And like you said, that right side, earlier, it's just looking real strong. In American football, strong right, we call that, when the best side is to the right side. So it's shaping up really good down that right flank. And it's going to be exciting to see what we do.
Yeah, we just need to equal that on the left-hand side, and then we're cooking, then we're good to go. But Ross, thank you so much for coming on today, my friend, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Speak to you soon.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
you Spurs. Reading have just scored 3-1 now, but that game is done. And here we go. We've got an ITK coming on next.
Danny Kirimano.
It's Danny Kirimano. It's Danny Kirimano. I told you, boys. I told you it was done.
Barry, before you say anything, right, I just want to say one thing. Keep Emerson Royale's motherfucking name out your motherfucking mouth, right? Get that propaganda out your head. Take that Emerson propaganda. I cannot wait for him to go. He's going to be one of the first to go in the summer, and I cannot wait to see him gone completely. Get him out of this club. Danny, he shouldn't be. He does not deserve to wear a Spurs shirt. I'm sorry. We pay too much. We pay too much money. Barry, you don't even go to the games this season, so shut your mouth, right? I pay too much money, like Ben, to go and watch the Emerson Royale play for Tottenham Hotspur. No, thank you. Not anymore. Get him out. Get him out. Right,
Danny?
that's what I want to say.
Danny?
That's it. See you later, guys. I'm joking.
Danny,
Yeah.
Danny, fuck off.
Yeah,
mate.
go on, Barry.
Danny, talk to me about Pedro Porro, though. What's he going to bring to us on that right-hand side?
I think. Do you know what? I think it's look. I was like, I had a feeling that it was going to happen. I was obviously the one thing I said to you guys. The one thing I said to you guys, there's only one man who can mess this up. One man and one man only, right? Brian's favorite man of all time, right? we all know we all know who that is, Mr. 501. Look, I'm so glad it's happened, right? Because I think we've been waiting for Tottenham since Kyle Walker was sold to bring in an actual player who's technically gifted, who can play as a right wing back, who can, or let's just say, who can actually deliver a really good cross as a wing back, and has actually got some good defensive attributes for him as well. He's quite a very, very quick player. He's quite aggressive. He's got a bit of that. I know he's Spanish, but he's got that kind of Spanish fire in him a little bit. So I think it'll be a really good signing for us. I'm just looking forward to seeing how. Do you know what I think? What's going to be the best thing? I think you're going to see Emerson start. Not Emerson. You're going to see
he's in your
Romero.
brain. He's in the brain, mate. Come on. Yeah, take him out of my mouth, but he's in your head, mate. Rent free. Free.
You're gonna see Romero, right? I think you'll see him get more confident as well, and I think you'll see his confidence come back even more. Because if you actually watch when Romero plays with Emerson, right, on that right-hand side, a lot of the times Romero doesn't look like he wants to pass the ball to Emerson, because he knows he's just going to get the ball passed back to him, and it puts him in a position where he's like, oh, well, what do I do with the ball now? Because you put me in a spot. So I think when you've got someone competent who can actually take on a player, who can whip in a ball, I think you're going to see a lot more down that right-hand side than we have been seeing. Because even when we're in the final third, you see like players like Kulu and Kane, they tend not to pass it to him a lot of the time because they know that he's not going to do anything with it in the final third. So look, I think it's a great signing, step in the right direction. That's all it is for me at the moment. It's a step, because I think, as we all know, the one player we would have loved to have seen in terms of positionally would have been a centre-back, at least one centre-back to come in, right? Look, there's still time. There's still a possibility that we might get one more loan player. It might be, I'd be very surprised if we manage to get a really good centre-back in. But look, there's still 3 days left. It can still happen. So, look, we just have to be hopeful that maybe they can get someone in. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if you get someone like Harry Maguire on loan. I would take that. I honestly, right now, I'd take it over Eric Dyer in a back three. So if it was someone like him on loan just for 6 months, I'd take that in a heartbeat. As much as it's not really what we want when we're trying to build a foundation, is what Conte is saying. It's still going to help us kind of try and push us towards that top four this season. So yeah, it's definitely it's happy days. I think it's a good step in the right direction, and they need to keep getting players of that kind of quality in the positions they require to kind of really push our level up. The good thing is, for me, it's like, I know you guys are talking a bit with other people as well about what would you rate it out of 10 so far. For me, I'm with Brian. I'm more like a 4 or 5. I'd say 5, purely because it's one player that's gone into the team, or you could probably say that eventually, if not already, is going to go straight into that first 11, and it's automatically improved our starting 11. So I think, obviously, we don't know how he's going to perform in the Premier League, how he's going to perform under Conte, but just from what we've seen, he's technically so much better than what we've got. And I think that he will be the number one choice that Conte will use for the rest of the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring and offer to us. So I mean, I'm watching the game at the moment.
Straight in for the Man City game.
It's a hard one. I'm not sure. Do you know what? If we get him signed up by Monday, right? I was saying Monday or Tuesday he'll be officially announced. If he is signed up by then, it gives him some time to train.
The window shuts on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, no, it shuts on Tuesday. But what I'm saying is that it all depends on how much training he can get in and how much Conte can see of him to feel like, do you know what, he's actually ready to start. He's not like he's not like he hasn't been playing for a couple of weeks, as that he's playing in the final right now. So in terms of match fit, he should be match fit, right? It's just a matter of whether Conte trusts him straight away to put him in. Maybe he will. I mean, he did it with Kulusevski and Bentancur. So I would like to see it. I would love to see him start against Man City, but he might just start Emerson, unfortunately, and probably maybe bring him on if he does have any minutes in the game. But yeah, for me, I would start him for 100%. But look, I'm not a manager, so we have to wait and see.
You know, if he doesn't start and Emerson starts, you're going to get some heat from me, yeah?
Mate, I don't give a shit because Emerson's gone in the summer, and I cannot wait.
No, mate,
I cannot wait.
Doxy's gone in the summer. Emerson is going to be the backup, mate.
If Conte is here, Emerson and Doherty and probably Spence are all going to leave the club.
If Emerson isn't sold, we're cutting your bun off, mate.
You're not touching my bun for no one. Not for Spurs or anything, mate.
Well, you're not that confident, mate. So if you were that confident, you'd make that bet, mate. But there you go.
Mate, when you've got Daniel Levy running the club, anything can happen. So I'm not confident at all. But look, in terms of, it's definitely a good step. And today was I think it was a good day for Spurs fans overall. I think it was nice to see Son of all come back onto the score sheet today. And I was saying before, I was like, he needs one of his like kind of trademark Son strikes. He needs one of those like long range fucking belters, just one of those just rips the net. And what a goal that was on his left foot. And the second goal as well was like Mikey was saying, it was very well finished. It was like a proper striker's finish in the box, and it was a good little back heel from Perisic. And I quite like the three up front today, Son, Kulu, and Perisic. In the first half, obviously, it was like a typical Tottenham performance in the first half this season. Look, I just think that it was good for their confidence, really. I think especially Son, you could see he needs it. Look, I know we can all say it's Preston and this and that, but end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. And Son, you could see the difference in his play today, right? You could see he looked more up for it today. And I think putting him up front and giving him the responsibility as being our main point of attack today, I think that helped him. And look, we saw it how many times under Pochettino. I'm not saying this is going to happen long term. It might do, but how many times under Pochettino did Harry Kane, when he was out the team injured, Son took the mantelpiece and took over and kept us going when Kane was injured, and Son kind of he showed us what he could do when he is the lone striker. And I think when you do play as that lone striker, you have to play football more. Like in terms of you have to play the ball to feet, you have to play a bit more passing football, because Son he's not a player that holds the ball up. He's just not that type of player. It was good to see. It was good to see Son kind of happy again and on the score sheet. And I think we all pray that now is the time he can kick on and really help us kind of try and get that top four this season, because we're going to need him if we're gonna get that top four. For sure.
Yeah, let's get a haircut.
Let's just hope there's no injury in there from Sonny, because he did look bad after the game when he was coming off. But just to leave on this note, talk to me about the new signing, Dan Juma. What did you make out of him today? Were you impressed with what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, look, before I say about Dan Juma, with Sonny, do you know, I actually think that he was more pissed off that he didn't stay on because he wanted to score a hat-trick. That's what my personal opinion is. But just because when they shot him a bit afterwards, he looked fine. I didn't look like there was a problem. Hopefully, there's no little niggly issue there or problem. But look, if there is, we should have. We've got Dan Juma now, and from what I saw from him today, the best thing, like Asymmatic was saying, right. What I liked about him was his directness, his touch and control of the ball. But the best thing for me was his movement was really good. Like, he was making the runs all the time, and you could see him clearly shouting at the Tottenham teammates, right? All the teammates who were playing around him to give him the ball, and he was screaming. There's a couple of occasions where he was screaming at them, like saying, pass me the ball," kind of thing, right? And you could see it. And I think we need that. I think we need someone who's going to come in with a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of give me the ball and let me do what I can do sort of thing, right? And I think when you've got, like, obviously Kane's a different type of player who's like there's a little fight going on in the sporting game, but it's all right. But yeah, don't worry, Porro's not injured, so it's all good. Yeah, with Dan Newman, I like the fact that he was kind of making those runs, and there was a couple of times where there was one time where Emerson had the ball, right, and Dan Newman was calling for it, and he was waiting and waiting. Emerson just didn't release it, and he got angry. But you saw him kind of go around the outside of the defender, and then by then, obviously, Emerson couldn't give him the ball. But it was like it was such an obvious pass straight through, and Emerson just took too long on the ball. Sorry, that's what happens. That's what happens when. That's what happens when you have shit players playing for Tottenham. But anyway, hopefully you're not for much longer. But look, I like the look of Dan Newman. I really do. I think he looked energetic. He looks like someone who's going to kind of shout with the Spurs players to give him the ball. And maybe he might wake some of them up and they actually might be able to play him in a couple of chances. And I like his directness as well. And I think it'll be interesting to see if he does play on the wing, because we know, was it Stellini? He was saying that they see him more as a number 10 or like a number 9, and that's where they're probably going to try and utilize him. But I reckon if Richarlison's out for a week or two, then Son say he has got a knock, then maybe he has to play as the winger, which I think he can do. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the options back. Like when you have Richarlison fit, Dan Newman there, Kane fit, Kulu a bit more fitter as well. I think it gives Conte a nice kind of headache to kind of choose who he wants to kind of rotate from. And do you know what? I'll give a little mention to Hill, because when Hill came on, he was bright. He looked good on the ball. He looked progressive. He looked positive. And to be honest with you, I'd rather keep him in the squad just to have that little impact coming on. It's a shame because I do think they probably will loan him out. And if they do, it's annoying because I think that he could probably benefit from staying. And I know he's not going to get as many minutes, but I think even if you give him those kind of like 10, 15 minutes here and there, it's just, I think for us anyway, it benefits us. Because I think whenever you see him come on, you always see this positiveness from him. You always see him trying to be a bit more direct, trying to get the player ball forward a bit more. And he was part of the build up towards the goal. So, and do you know what, as well, before I go, I want to give Basuma a special mention as well, because I thought he was really good today, in my opinion. I think in the second half, he did play a lot better, and he was also part of the build-up. He had a nice little footwork with part of that build-up towards that third goal. And I think he was good. I think defensively as well, he was really good. And it's the first time that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first time we've seen him play alongside Bentancur. And I think the fans, do you remember at the beginning of the season when we bought Basuma, everyone was saying, who's the best two pairing we have? Who's the best two they think is going to be the best? And everyone said Basuma and Bentancur. And I think it's the first time we've actually seen it. And I quite liked it, to be honest with you. I think you had a lot of Bentancur. If you saw during the game, Basuma didn't really get forward. Bentancur was the one who was going forward quite a lot. And he was always, he was kind of like in a central attacking midfield position in the first half as well. And in the second half, Bentancur. And he was playing kind of just outside that like 18-yard box and just a bit further back as well. And Basuma was the one sitting more deeper. And I think it can work. And I think it's just with Basuma, I think it's just going to take time for him to understand the way Conte wants to have him played with his tactics, because I kind of feel with Basuma that it looks a little bit at times that he's playing with the shackles on, like he's not allowed to do the things that Basuma can do, sort of thing, because Conte is trying to drill him to make him understand the way he needs to play in his system, which I think it's a bit of it's the detriment of unfortunately of Basuma, because it's not allowing. I feel that it's not allowing him to really show what he is capable of offering us. But at the same time, Conte is a world-class manager for a reason. And someone like Bentancur, if he's good enough, he should be able to get into the kind of gist of how Conte wants him to play. And I think if Conte is here next season, I think that you'll see a different Basuma next season. I think he's understanding what he wants him to do slowly, and you can see it in patches when he comes off the bench, or when they in the middle of the game when they change the formation to a 3-5-2, and they put three midfielders in, and you can see he makes a difference. I think it's just a matter of time with Basuma. And just to let you know, Porro's just giving a little emotional wave off to to the Sporting fans because the game's over. They lost 2-0,
Come on!
and he's just waving the fans off. They're kind of cheering him. He's a little bit teared up, and he knows he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing in that lily white shirt. So he can't wait. He can't wait.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Danny, always a pleasure, my friend. We'll speak to you next time.
Big up, boys. Big up. Come on, you Spurs. Speak to you later.
Come on, you Spurs, and take Emerson. That
Everyone
nonsense.
is just so calm. When's the last time this
I
fan
know.
base has been this calm? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
A win and, a
A win and a
signing.
signing in the same day. I mean, could you ask for much more as a Spurs fan?
No.
And Arsenal going out the day before.
Yeah.
It's a perfect weekend.
Yeah, and even a certain central midfielder going off with a bit of an injury as well.
No, I just need the Rock to win the Royal Rumble, and there's all my Christmases are coming at once.
Yeah, we'll just ask the directors, see what happened, and then let's bring on our next guest, and that is Mile High Hotspur.
Big up, Leo.
Yes, Mr. Mile High Hotspur. How are you, my friend? Is he frozen?
Good. What's going on?
I think your camera's frozen, my friend.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, you frozen, brother.
Oh.
If you try and reconnect, we'll get you back on, but we're going to have to keep... You're going to have to disconnect and reconnect, I think.
Yeah.
But do we have anyone else?
Yeah.
Don't worry, the lines are jam-packed, so this stream ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, speaking of...
Royal Rumble.
What happened to Stel? I thought Stel was coming on.
Well, he sent the message back saying he's busy at the most, so he may do.
Anyway, it's me, it's KPV. KPV, what's happening, my brother?
Not a lot, but as Brian said, good weekend. Couldn't have asked for more. The filth going out, good weekend, and always signing. But sad news, The Rock won't be returning tonight because he's busy doing another movie. But the whole world wanted The Rock versus Reigns, but you never know tonight. So KTV came on a bit late because he's warming up for the Royal Rumble to watch. So before I come in, yeah. So
Can you unblock me, KPV? We keep having this conversation every week, man.
Piss off, Barry.
Use your brony blocking me, man.
I'm not blocking you, man. Piss off like Bob did. Piss off, Barry.
Wow. Piss off, Barry, all right? Just piss off, mate.
Right. Piss off.
Talk to me about the game, KPV. Talk to me about the game. Who most impressed you today?
There's only one answer, man. Ronaldo. As I say every time I come on, he only scores bangers. And what does he do? Scores 2 absolute worldies. But it doesn't beat them 2 against Leicester, unfortunately. So, 2 absolute bangers. And just warming up for City. Conte saved Kane ready for Man City next week. So, good decision. Good decision, boss. Thanks for saving him. We don't want him getting injured because last season was the first time he didn't get injured. So, but... yeah, and it's a bit of a shame that Sporting lost, but he's giving his goodbyes. And welcome to the club, Porro.
How excited are you about him, Kyle?
Yes, mate, and I'm calling it right now. He'll wear the number 23 shirt, the number that I said to Dermot and Ellie, that the player that's worn number 23 and 5, and Ben and Barry already know who that is. That's wore 2 numbers at the club. And let me talk to you. Yeah. Let me talk to you.
What do you want to talk to us about, KPV?
What do you want to say, KPV? I thought you were going to go into like some boom, 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 and let me hear you say, well.
Hello, badly sung.
And let me say this to the person who ain't going to be getting forgiveness. You can piss off, mate. Do one.
Excuse me?
Who's that, Ben?
Not you, Ben. No, not you.
Brian. To Brian.
No, not you.
Me.
He shall not be named. He shall not be named.
Voldemort.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he can do one. What does he think he's doing?
Yeah, I think it took less than a minute and a half, didn't it, to have a Sol Campbell?
Yes. Apparently,
man,
90 seconds or
he's
something.
Asking forgiveness, pissed off, man. We don't like you, kid. You lied, and Ericsson lied as well. So Ericsson welcome to the Judas Club, mate. You said you weren't
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
Don't put those two on the same in the same breath. They're completely different, in my opinion.
I'm serious, Ben. He told Levy he wasn't going to join another big club like Man United, but what does he do? He goes there. He could have stayed at Brentford because a little kid in a wheelchair got Ericsson's shirt, but he goes and joins that club. Well, I'm watching a game at the moment, still 3-1, and looks like it's going to end. But anyway, another clean sheet and roll on City. And yeah, Danjuma, from Bergwijn to Danjuma, scoring on their debut. Bergwijn was the last player to do it. So Danjuma on his debut. Now,
who do you want in the next round, Carl?
That's a good shout.
Good shout. I wouldn't mind the Saints. I wouldn't mind Southampton because we're at home, even though we would have beat them at home because they beat us there last season. Unfortunately, as I said, I went to the game and yeah, we were 2-1 up, but then they go and get 2 goals and win 3-2. But so yeah, I wouldn't mind Southampton, who are currently like not good, but I wouldn't mind Southampton. But who else is in there? Like Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds went through today. Leicester went through today. Man United are through.
Man City, Wrexham.
Wrexham, yeah.
I'll tell you who we can't get, and that is Arsenal.
Or Chelsea.
Or Chelsea.
Or West Ham.
West
Ham.
Yeah, they're in there.
I wouldn't mind Wrexham or Leeds, though, so I'm going to say them two.
Right.
So, number 1, home team, and number 1. So, everyone, get your popcorn and get the beers out Monday to draw, because we're number 1, we're the home team. And, yeah, so get your beers out, everyone, your Samsung Galaxies out. And, yeah,
Wait, if we're number 1, that doesn't mean we're the home team, does it?
No.
Yes, we are.
No,
We're
it
number
won't
1, boy. Get it right, man. We're the home team.
Silly me.
Like, yeah, see what I mean, bro. But
Number
big
1
up,
can be
everyone.
called as the away team, Carl.
Of course.
So number 12, Manchester City plays number 1.
Yeah,
Tottenham.
You guarantee that now.
We're at home, man. We're the home team because number 1 is normally the home team. So, but
Yeah,
whoever's
okay.
doing a draw, we're home, and I want a home tie. No more away ties. I'm tired of away ties. Like we
All
beat
that travelling,
Dortmund.
KPV, yeah?
Yeah, and I hear that a certain bench ain't going to the AC Milan game in Italy. That's a shame. He's
Who?
going to do the watch along while Sim goes to AC Milan. So,
What, you talking about me?
seriously. Yeah.
Who said I'm not going to AC Milan?
You said you're not going.
Get it right,
I heard it.
KPV. Come on, get it right.
Well, good luck with that anyway, guys. Anyway, look, enjoy, people. Enjoy the weekend because in just a couple of hours, KPV is going to be watching the Royal Rumble. And so, yeah. So, good luck, people. I'm off. And who let the dogs out? Barry did.
Carl, serious question. Who's winning the Rumble then if it ain't The Rock?
Cody Rhodes.
That's a good shout.
Who?
Cody Rhodes. That's a
Cody
good shout.
Rhodes.
He's coming back.
The American Nightmare. And
That's
the
a
one
good
who's
shout.
winning the Women's Royal Rumble, it will be Rhea Ripley, representing the Judgment Day. So, all wise for the Judgment Day, people. All wise. I'll be
All right.
watching. Anyway,
All right,
I'm
Carl.
off. So, I'll
See you
see you
later.
all on Monday.
All right,
Big up,
brother.
KPV.
Big
And-
up, KPV.
Levy out. Daigle
Unblock
in.
me.
Everyone
Thank
in.
you.
Unblock me. KPV, unblock me.
Harry, shut up, blood. I haven't blocked you, man. So keep that out of your mouth. Boom. I'm out. Over
Boom,
and out.
boom, boom.
And that's KPV. That is KPV. How many have we got left, Sammy? All right. Not many more to go, but let's see if Mile High Hotspur is back with us. Yes,
Leo.
yes, my friend. Yes, all working now. How are you? I think you're on
And now
mute.
you're on
though.
mute.
Well, isn't that just a way to kick it off, you guys? How we doing?
I love your
Oh,
microphone.
good,
You took
man.
your hoodie off and your microphone worked.
Yeah, you know, it's the thing of the future. They go, it's the thing of the future.
Talk to me about
Guys,
Pedro
how you
Porro,
guys
my
doing?
friend. Yeah, we're good. We're good. But let's talk to me about Pedro Porro, man. Finally, we got this man over the line. We got the Here We Go today. How excited are you?
Yeah, it's kind of like that cartoon where they have the hat and then they have like a string with the hot dog hanging in front, and you just spend all day chasing after that hot dog. Kind of feels like that's what this whole transfer saga has been with Pedro Porro, and I think we've finally been able to reach that. So I'm glad that they got that line, that deal over the line. I was a little scared hearing you guys talk about him might have been injured, but I'm glad that he, waved farewell to the fans and. Come on, you Spurs. We got him through. Hopefully he'll be wearing lily white soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the game today, what was your assessment of the performance?
Oh my God. A snooze fest to say the least in the first half. It kind of almost felt like everybody was just trying to play their role, which is what you would want to see from our team. I have to say that Tanganga stood out. He looked really composed. He looked good playing that right center back position. He looks way better there than he does at right back. Basuma for me was a little bit, it's hard to tell from the TV screen how everybody is playing off of the ball, So he didn't look to me to be that good. I'm a little worried about that, but hopefully he could come through. As far as Sonny goes, the last time I was on here, I definitely gave him some stick. I'm super glad that he got 2 goals under his name this game. Definitely two nice goals. I know I texted a buddy Jacob from United Spurs of America earlier today, and I told him, hey, this is the game that Sonny has to get his confidence back. Whether or not this is a game where he's going to keep going, I hope so. But I guess we'll just have to wait to City to find out if that form's going to continue.
Leo, quick one, because Danny said it as well, but I still don't know what I'm seeing. You mentioned Tanganga, but what was your assessment of Basuma?
I don't know if he really is. I know that he's coming to our team, playing from Brighton, a different system, a new coach. I know that Conte might have, a while back ago said that, he's taking his time with Basuma because he wants Basuma to know and understand his system. I think there's definitely signs of him still not being 100% finished product of what Conte wants him to be doing on that midfield. But that's not to say that the rest of our midfield isn't doing the same thing. There's glimpses when Højbjerg is out of position, and there's glimpses when Bentancur is doing the same thing. With Skippy, he's got the same problem. I think the way that Conte just sets his team up and the way he wants his midfielders to play is new to all of our midfielders. So it's definitely going to be a struggle for all of them to literally solidify their starting position in the starting 11. Basuma, to me, I think he just hasn't found his rhythm. I was really stoked the day I found out that we purchased him. And I still am. I'm hoping that he's going to come through. He hasn't been abysmal at all, but he hasn't really stuck out that much either. I wish I knew what was going on with him, just like I wish I knew what was going on with the majority of our team. There's just something in the water at the training ground that has them, playing the way they're playing. And but look, Basuma is a baller, so when he does come around and he is going to be, playing the way Conte wants him to be playing, man, we're in for a treat. It's just a matter of waiting time, how long that's going to be, And we never know. Maybe Bentancur and Højbjerg might even keep him out of the starting lineup. It's a toss-up having that many midfielders that can possibly play any given day.
2 clean sheets in a row now. New signings in through the door, Danjuma and Pedro Porro. Are you feeling a bit more confident now for the second half of the season?
I'm feeling good. I'm definitely feeling good. A bit more confident now. I definitely am so glad to see Danjuma get off scoring. You know what I mean? How Ross said the Dutch Mamba. I'm glad that he opened up his account today. He definitely a good game to do it. There's been a lot of mixed reports about him. Our fan base is definitely divided, whether some, accepted the signing, some were kind of just, typical Levy signing. But I for one said, hey, let this man put on the jersey first, let him get some game time, and then we can, the jury will be out. So I'm glad that he definitely showed up and scored. Pedro Porro, I hope that he hits the ground running with us. I'm hoping, Conte understands that this is probably a sign of intent to say, hey, Conte, stick with us. There's, the future's bright here. The future's lily white. And hopefully we can continue to bring more players that'll suit that Conte formation. I hope to see maybe one or two more signings before the window is up. But my guess is as good as your guys'. Is that going to happen? Who knows? I could just hope for the best. But we definitely needed to do something. I'm glad that Danjuma got done first, and it kind of set the wheels in motion for us to be able to get this Pedro Porro deal done. So let's go out there and get maybe a center back or two, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Definitely, I'm glad that that we got that Pedro Porro deal done for sure.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on today, my friend, and we shall see you next time. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, loving the tattoo as well. Come
Big
on.
up, Leo.
We Are Tottenham TV one.
You say again?
That's one where I wanted to get the We Are Tottenham.
There has been a report coming out today saying, well, just now, that Tottenham are now exploring a deal for Piero Hincapié.
Well,
What
if
do you
you
say to
remember
that?
when we did the when I was here when Simeon was on holiday in Israel, and we did one of these things about the defenders. I love this guy. For me, he is the heir to the throne of the, my man Jan Vertonghen.
But did you see? It says at the bottom. It says, but Tottenham will refuse to meet Bayer Leverkusen's fee.
We said that for Pedro Porro as well. We seem to get that one over the line.
We don't have 28 days. 28 days later. 28 days or 28 summer transfer windows later.
Yeah,
Also, have you seen the news about Brian Hill?
No, what's that?
Potentially his last appearance believed to be close to a loan with an option move to Sevilla now.
Really?
May have
With an
influenced
option?
him not starting tonight.
With an option?
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's a bad move from the club.
Bad move.
I think that's a bad move from the club. I think Brian Hill, he's got so much ability. All he needs to do is beef up a little bit. And we've seen, even without beefing up, like he can bring quality into the Premier League, into the Champions League. I don't want to see him go. Alone, I can accept, but with an option, I can't.
Well, the loan as well. I've kind of been like, I want it to be in England, where I'll get the minutes. But if, like you say, for his development, he gets minutes, it can only help. But I wouldn't want that clause in right now. It was an option, not obligation.
Option.
Yeah? Okay, so that's
not
not
obligation.
That's not too bad. But going back to Hincapié, if we can get him, I will rate the window higher with him than Ndika.
So basically, what you're telling me is that we sold Lamela to Sevilla, we got Brian Hill back, and now Brian Hill's going to go back there to replace Lamela. Is that what's going to happen?
Basically.
In the space of 2 years. Oh, what's going on, man? What is going on? But anyway, let's bring on our last caller of the day. Hello, Marcos.
Yo,
How you doing,
how's it
man?
going?
What's up, buddy?
I'm
You good?
good. How are you? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear. Let's start off with the Pedro Porro news. Obviously, we got the Here We Go today. How happy are you? How excited are you?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Finally, we can get some quality on the right-hand side. I think we've been desperate for that for the past couple of years. So it's very exciting for us to finally stump up the money that we've got back for Kyle Walker. Seeing as though the wingbacks are a priority in Conte's system, it's very important that we have quality with crossing, defending, pace on that side. So I'm happy to see him in.
And on the other news today, potentially Brian Hill going to Sevilla with an option to buy. What do you make out of that?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. It's a bad move. I'm fine with the loan so he could get some minutes. But with an option, it just doesn't make any sense when this has probably been his best season with us, showing glimpses of what he can do for us offensively. His dribbling is well beyond his years. His pace is very dangerous for Premier League defenders. So I mean, I would like to see him get some minutes elsewhere, but with an option, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, he's got so much quality, doesn't he? And he shows it as well when he comes on the pitch. I thought he looked good when he came on again today. And he's definitely a player for the future, and he's got definitely a big, bright future ahead of him. It would just be such a shame to let him go so early, wouldn't it? Maybe it might be a bit of same vibes as Noni Madueke when he left us from the academy.
Yeah, for sure. And even Marcus Edwards, we gave up on him a little too soon as well, even though he had attitude problems. But it's just with the club, when we cut ties way too easily at this club, whether it's player wise or manager wise. So I don't want to see that happen.
We do, and we don't though, because we, if you look at
with
some of the players,
with the wrong people.
Yeah, absolutely. It is with the wrong people, because you look at some of the people that we're just hanging on, or we don't do anything and we let things happen. It just seems you're right. It's the wrong people that we're doing this with. It's crazy. It's crazy. But what about who impressed you today in the game?
Well, who impressed me? I'm gonna have to say Tanganga impressed me actually a lot today. He did very well on the right side of the center backs, but obviously we were playing Preston, so he wasn't very he wasn't under threat as often as he would be in like a Champions League or Premier League game. But he did well to go up the pitch and provide extra help for the wing backs, because I didn't think Doherty played particularly well today, or Sessegnon, of course.
Sessegnon was awful.
Yeah. But I think what you got to remember with Tanganga as well is, even at the Brentford game, he looked shaky. He needed a game like that to find a bit of confidence to say this is what I can do and I can be at this level. I still think there's a player in there, but I think what we have to do is, like I said, start utilising him in that position only, and say this is your position. This is where you're going to play, and hopefully he'll grow back to the levels that we know he can.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not smart to use him as a utility player when he's low on confidence. So yeah, you're right. Just playing him at one position, saying this is yours, challenge for this position, and you'll get minutes if you deserve it.
And last one from us, Spurs apparently still looking to bring in one more before the end of the window. Links to Hincapié after the signing of Pedro Porro. Is that one that would excite you?
Oh my goodness, yes. Hincapié is a very class defender. I would love to see him in. Honestly, any center back at this point would make me pretty happy. Even someone post Maguire, I would like to see, but Hincapié would be pure class. And he would really shore up our back line in order to push for the top four.
All right, big up. Thanks for coming on today, my friend. A good day for Tottenham Hotspur Day. Pedro Porro in, a 3-0 win in the FA Cup, and we'll see who we get in the next round on Monday. But thank you so much for coming on today, my friend.
See you later, buddy.
Boys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs. I just realised, Ben, I'm doing the watch along with Danny next Sunday. That's going to be a bit explosive after his little outburst, isn't it?
Yep.
Fireworks are about to fly.
Fireworks.
Well, especially you'll see which right back plays first. That'll set it going. That'll set the agenda.
It'll be the battle of the right backs, number one fans on Sunday.
Yeah.
But no, thank you everyone today. It's been a great show. It's been a great day for Tottenham, like I said before. A brand new signing, the one that we all wanted, Pedro Porro through the door. Potentially one more coming in before the end of the window. Obviously, we'll bring you the news as and when anything breaks. But big up to you boys for coming in today and taking the hot seat. But we'll see you all tomorrow when Sim's back in the studio. But like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.